I feel like total garbage. I always feel worse in the morning. I'm always just depressed in the morning. More so than I'd like to be, more so than I feel I typically am throughout the rest of the day. Fuck. Yesterday was so hard. I can't even get words out. I feel so upset. I just don't want to be alone anymore. I'm getting sick of it. I'm getting real sick of it. It's genuinely one of those days. I've been really struggling to cope with loneliness. It's not even an inherent fault of mine that I'm so lonely. It's really just because of my logistical circumstances and unfortunately my upbringing contributed to a lot of it. Just where I live, it's not walkable and there's no public transportation, so there's really no way for me to get around not having a license. Though that is something that I'm working towards. I'm studying the driver's manual so that I can get a permit. But it just feels like everything is harder because I went through a lot of trauma in my childhood, and because of that trauma, I was afraid to do things, or my mental health wasn't stable enough to do things. Like, I wasn't able to go to college because by the time that I was college age, I was just so anxious and so depressed, and I was just triggered by everything. And I was just always like crying because I would just be constantly triggered. And because like my whole life was and kind of still is having to self soothe all of the time, um, there was really no room for learning. Like, there was no room for school. I couldn't do anything because I was just always so upset. And it didn't help that the reasons that I was upset just were not understood by my parents, and they were dismissed as like not important or not real. And I regret that so much. I really wanted to go to college, and I feel like I don't have that chance anymore. Well, I never really had it because like I was so volatile and upset, and I couldn't focus. Like I can still barely do things that I enjoy. I can barely have hobbies. I have such long periods of time where I don't do anything that I love. And it just sucks. And like I really did, like, I wanted to get a job, and I know that's not impossible. And that is part of like my goal with like getting my driver's license, is so that I can get to a job. That way it would be possible for me to even have one. Um, but I just, yeah, and like not having the jobs and whatnot in the past is mostly just transportation, and then also like mental health. And because I don't have the transportation, it's because of the bad mental health. And I'm trying my best to like believe in myself. Like, I always think I'm gonna fail. Like, and I shouldn't even try because I'm not good at anything. And I'm trying to like look past that a little bit. Like, it's really hard because I doubt myself so much. And a lot of it is just tied to the fact that I struggled so badly in school. Not even just like being bullied and whatnot, but like I just never felt that I was smart, because I have like, I hate this. Fuck. But it's painful. I have DID, and I didn't know for a really long time. I found out in my mid 20s when I started going to therapy um, consistently, and I actually started opening up because I just kind of didn't share. Like, I was forced to go to therapy in my childhood and adolescence by my parents, but it was never framed in like, we want to help you. It was more of a like, our daughter is a problem, there's something wrong with her, fix her. Like, push her under the rug, like, do something about it. And so I didn't want to talk to them because I just felt like a burden. And then like finally I started talking to a therapist, and then um, after like the, I think, second year mark, I brought up that like the experiences I had that I felt like were probably DID related. My therapist like totally agreed. Um, it's just, but like before I knew the the symptoms, the amnesia actually has been such a, it's been like a learning disability for me. And I know that like it's a coping mechanism, a survival mechanism, like the DID, but it's also really maladaptive. It does disable me too, and that's the most confusing thing for me to wrap my head around, is that something that was created to protect me also really disables me. And I really struggled to learn in school because um, I I like I wouldn't retain all the information. It would be sectioned off into like whoever, because it would be like multiple different people fronting throughout the day, and so even for like one specific class. And because of that, I just didn't get good grades. And when I think about it, my brain was trying so hard to protect me. Like, you have to be this out of it that you can't learn just to get by. That's really sad. Because I'm sure, like, in other systems cases, like, it was imperative that, like, they did get good grades, that they were at least a little present. I was just so out of it. And, like, I wasn't even prepared for the SAT, so it made me feel like I was stupid and nobody thought I had any potential. And I don't know, and my sister, she was prepared for the SAT. My parents were on her for grades. I just got ignored. Unless I got upset and yelled and flipped out, and then the attention I got wasn't even good attention. I'm gonna get there. I know I am. I'm gonna get to where I want to be. I'm gonna get my license. I'm gonna find a job that I can do. And I'm gonna, even though I didn't have the support that I needed growing up, and that makes things harder, even though I'm autistic, that makes things harder, even though all the trauma and like the multiple personality shit, like even though that's hard, I know I'm gonna be okay. And I'm not gonna be so lonely forever. Once I get out there, I can go to events, I can meet people who like similar things. But right now, it's just so hard and lonely, and I'm weird. I feel like a weirdo all the time. And like, I wouldn't think that that makes people. I wouldn't say being weird is bad. Like, I think that's lovely. I love people who are different and have unique passions, but people were so mean to me across my life. I feel like I can't be that way. I need my favorite Pokemon. I'm such a hot mess. That and like I've had like this issue for like I've had this issue since, hold on, maybe like 8, more like 6. I've had an issue for like 6 years now. And what it is I have like mucus in the back of my throat. It's just like steadily collecting there all of the time. And it'll like affect the way that I speak if I don't clear my throat. And it's really annoying to me to have to keep clearing my throat over and over. And then also, it's probably really annoying for anyone that I'm talking to because I don't know, that I'm sure that gets annoying. And I really wish I could stop doing that, but also I'm terrified of going to the doctor and I don't want to go to the doctor. So, ugh. I feel so like claustrophobic in like the rooms, like the exam rooms. There's like no windows in there, and it like makes me anxious, and I just don't like it. And then also, I'm just so anxious. I'm always like, ooh, what are they thinking about me? Do they think I'm a fucking weirdo? Like, they think I'm fat. They think I'm ugly. They think I'm stupid. They think that I'm like slow. Um, I look socially awkward. I look like a femcel, which, like, mind you, I I said to my ex, I said I'm a femcel because I really wanted them to look me in the eyes and go, "No, you're not." And then um, they said, "What's that?" And then I said, "It's like a lady who can't get a partner, who's kind of awkward and mopes about not having a partner and has really weird niche interests." Um, and they said, "I can't lie, but yeah, that fits you. It's the autism, sorry." And then I was like, "Okay, well, yay, honesty." I have like these gummies that I got at the mall yesterday, and it says they're peelable, but they really aren't. I've been going on walks like every morning. Because I'm trying to lose weight. I didn't go yesterday, but I did go out and I did walk in the mall. I haven't gone yet today. I'm just not feeling like it, mostly because it's really cold. It's like 26 degrees Fahrenheit, and I don't really want to go out in that. Because, like, I feel like I need gloves. And I have gloves, I just don't know where they are. Like, well, I know where one of them is. That's the problem. I lose everything. I really wish I had more friends. Like, people I can hang out with in person, but then I think, wouldn't they get sick of me? Wouldn't they get so sick of me? And then, like, there's this other part of me that's like, they, if they definitely wouldn't like me, but they'd like some of my other parts more than me. They'd like the funny ones. They'd like the extroverted ones. They'd like the ones that are happy and excited and funny. They wouldn't like me. And like I've felt like that my whole life. Like, and I didn't realize that's what I was feeling, but like I've been so jealous of other parts of me. Cuz I see it's almost like how when you're autistic, you see all the other kids doing things and you copy them, but you, for some reason, you do it wrong. You don't get the same response, or you get chastised, or like in trouble. It's felt like that, like with even the people within the same brain and body as me. Like, I'll see them get entirely different reactions from people, even if I'm doing the same thing. And it's like, does energy matter that much? Or is it like that my tone of voice is so different? Because I know that, like, I get most of the, like, the monotone, like, autism stuff coming through, like, with my voice. And I also just have a tendency to sound angry when I'm not angry. And it's just difficult for me to modulate my tone, but like some of the others don't have that problem. And I just see that people respond so differently to them, and it makes me feel like a problem, like I'm a burden. Like there's just something wrong with me, and then it reminds me that I even have DID to start with, and I fucking hate that. And I mourn that every single day. I mourn that fact. It feels like I'm always going to be grieving the fact that if I hadn't had so much trauma that could have been prevented, I wouldn't have DID. I wouldn't struggle to learn. I wouldn't be so afraid and anxious all of the time. I wouldn't be in this constant battle with myself. I could get things done. God, I hate it. I feel like the level of friendship and commitment that I need from friendship is like uncommon. Or maybe like there are people out there that I'd be compatible with to be friends with. However, they already have a best friend, or they already have several, and they just, because of that, they don't have the time and resources to allot for another spot. Because I feel like that sometimes too. I feel like I want more friends, but I want more friends because some of the friends I have can't meet certain needs that I have. And so I'm like, okay, well, I need other friends. Um, However, because I have the friends that I do, I don't think that I have the energy and resources to have other friends, because then it wouldn't be fair. Like, a friendship can't be one-sided. You can't just be taking, you also have to give and be reciprocal. But, and I'm not saying that, like, I'm not grateful for my friends. Obviously, I'm not just gonna be like, oh, you can't meet, like, my needs, like, I'm dumping you as a friend. No, we're friends for life. But, like, it does sometimes feel like I wish I could have more friends, but I don't have the energy and the capacity to have more friends, and that's sad, I guess. Um, and yeah, also I wish I could go to more anime conventions. It's just there's the transportation, there's the fact that I don't want to go alone. I'd love to go with someone, but um, oh, and the other thing is I've got goals, like because like um, yeah, I have to get the car, I have to um, get a job, and I have to save money. Like, that's something I've really been cracking down on lately, is I've just been not really spending money. Like, I just spent on food or like hygiene products. Cause like I had an issue for a while where, so like I'm fashion obsessed, and it's like one of my special interests, and I was just spending way too much money on clothes, which luckily I no longer do, which is very good for me because I was shooting myself in the foot, honestly. Like, I was really sad and I was trying to fill the void, and but the void was kind of even there just because I don't have enough independence. Like, that's part of why I'm so lonely and why I'm so sad. And like, if I'm gonna get that independence, I need to have money. And so, you know, you get it. Okay, I hate everything. Oof. Ooh. It feels like the inside of my head is on fire.